For centuries, whispers have echoed through time, tales of gods among us, stories of advanced knowledge given to humankind. In ancient Mesopotamia, civilizations arose. The Sumerians, with their cuneiform script, left behind intriguing tales. Tales of beings from the stars, the Anunnaki. Now, a discovery has shattered the silence. A discovery that forces us to confront the whispers of the past. The Sumerian civilization left behind more than just stories. Their intricate writing spoke of advanced knowledge in astronomy, mathematics, and governance. Could this knowledge, as the Sumerians claimed, be a gift from the Anunnaki? The discovery of a hidden tomb may hold the answer. A tomb that may rewrite history itself. Deep in the Mesopotamian desert, a team of archaeologists embarked on a routine dig. They sought remnants of a long-lost city, hoping to piece together fragments of the past. An entrance, hidden for millennia, emerged from the sands. An entrance to a tomb unlike any other. As they ventured deeper into the tomb, they knew they were on the precipice of a discovery that could change everything. The world watched with bated breath. The desolate sands of the Iraqi desert stretched endlessly. It was here, near the ancient city of Ur, that the earth had yielded its secret. For years, rumors had circulated amongst archaeologists. Whispers of a hidden structure buried beneath the sands. Dr. Aliyah Hassan, a renowned archaeologist, had dedicated her life to uncovering the truth behind these whispers. Armed with ground-penetrating radar, she scoured the desert. Just as their resolve began to waver, the radar pinged. A large symmetrical anomaly lay hidden beneath the dunes. Excitement crackled in the air as the team began the delicate work of excavation. Every grain of sand carefully removed, every stone meticulously documented. The architecture was unlike anything they had ever seen. Imposing walls of black basalt, adorned with intricate carvings of strange beings. The Anunnaki staring back at them through the mists of time. The entrance, a towering archway flanked by two massive statues, lay buried under tons of sand. They were on the verge of unlocking a chapter of history that had been lost for millennia. The air hung heavy with anticipation as the team gathered at the entrance to the tomb. Years of work had led them to this moment. The heavy stone door, sealed for thousands of years, groaned as they slowly pushed it open. As the team stepped inside, the weight of silence pressed down upon them. The air inside the tomb was cold, still. The tomb stretched before them, a labyrinth of corridors and chambers. The world held its breath as the team ventured deeper into the tomb. The beam of Dr. Hassan's flashlight cut through the oppressive darkness. The walls of the corridor were covered in intricate carvings, scenes of a civilization both familiar and alien. As they ventured deeper into the tomb, the carvings began to tell a story. A story of the Anunnaki, their arrival on Earth, their interactions with primitive humans. One particular carving sent shivers down their spines. It depicted a group of Anunnaki, their faces grave, gathered around a massive, glowing object. The corridor opened into a vast chamber, its ceiling lost in the darkness above. In the center of the chamber, bathed in the ethereal glow of their flashlights, stood a colossal statue. It was a humanoid figure, twice the size of a man, carved from a single block of obsidian. Its eyes, inlaid with precious stones, seemed to follow their every move. The figure was clad in elaborate armor, every detail meticulously rendered. In its right hand, it clutched a weapon of unknown design. A sense of unease settled over the team. This was no mere ornament. This was a guardian, placed here to protect the tomb's secrets for all eternity. On the statue's chest, barely visible beneath the layer of dust and grime, was an inscription. The inscription read, "Here lies Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, son of the Anunnaki, ruler of all he surveys." Beyond the statue, at the far end of the chamber, lay a massive sarcophagus. It was crafted from a single piece of lapis lazuli, its surface polished to a mirror sheen. Carvings of celestial bodies, constellations unknown to modern astronomy, adorned its sides. The sarcophagus rested upon a raised platform guarded by two more obsidian statues. Dr. Hassan, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and excitement, signaled to her team. Slowly, carefully, they approached the sarcophagus. The lid of the sarcophagus was not sealed. A cold draft emanated from the opening, carrying with it the scent of decay and something else, something ancient and alien. With bated breath, Dr. Hassan peered into the sarcophagus. Inside, resting on a bed of gold and precious stones, lay the skeletal remains of a being that was both human and not. Its skull was elongated, its jaw slightly protruding, just as the carvings had depicted. Clutched in its skeletal hand was a cylindrical object made of an unknown metal. It pulsed with a faint ethereal light, casting strange shadows on the tomb walls. As Dr. Hassan reached out to examine the object, a low hum filled the air. The cylindrical object pulsed brighter, bathing the tomb in an otherworldly light. A wave of static crackled across television screens worldwide. News anchors, their faces etched with confusion, fumbled for words. The signal from the archaeological dig in Iraq, which had been broadcasting the team's every move, went dead. Millions watched in disbelief as the screen flickered, displaying only static and silence. The world held its breath, a collective sense of unease settling over humanity. What had happened in that tomb? What had the archaeologists unearthed? Rumors spread like wildfire through the online world. The world was left to grapple with the unknown. The scientific community, initially skeptical of Dr. Hassan's claims, was now gripped by a mixture of fear and fascination. The images from the tomb, the carvings depicting advanced technology, the inscription on the sarcophagus, it was all too much to ignore. The very foundations of history seemed to crumble. If the Anunnaki were real, what did it mean for our understanding of ourselves? The implications were staggering. The silence from the Iraqi desert was deafening, a stark reminder of the vastness of the unknown and the fragility of our place in the universe. The disappearance of Dr. Hassan and her team cast a long shadow over the world. The tomb, once a beacon of discovery, was now shrouded in fear and uncertainty. Governments, fearing what they might unleash, declared the site off-limits. The desert sands reclaimed their dominion, burying the secrets of the Anunnaki once more. But the whispers remained. The world had glimpsed something ancient, something powerful, something that challenged the very fabric of their reality. The legacy of the last Anunnaki king lived on, not in monuments of stone but in the quiet dread that settled over humanity. Life, as it always does, went on. The world adjusted to the new normal, the unsettling awareness of the Anunnaki lurking at the edges of their consciousness. The tomb in the Iraqi desert became a legend, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. Some dismissed it as a hoax, a fabrication designed to sow fear and uncertainty. Others clung to the hope that Dr. Hassan and her team were still alive, trapped somewhere within the tomb's depths. But the silence from the sands remained unbroken. The Anunnaki, if they were aware of the stir they had caused, offered no further signs. The questions lingered unanswered, a testament to the enduring mystery of the Anunnaki. The world, in the wake of the Anunnaki revelation, had fractured. Where once there was a semblance of unity, a shared human narrative, now there was only uncertainty and suspicion. Governments, desperate to maintain control, tightened their grip. Borders closed, surveillance increased, and dissent was met with swift and brutal force. The scientific community, once a bastion of reason and inquiry, was now fragmented. Some denounced the Anunnaki discovery as a hoax, a dangerous delusion. In its place, a chilling question. If the Anunnaki could return, what else might lurk in the shadows of history, waiting to reclaim its place in the light? The silence from the Iraqi desert was mirrored by an equally profound silence from the heavens. Astronomers, armed with powerful telescopes, scanned the vast expanse of space, seeking any sign, any signal that might betray the presence of the Anunnaki. But the stars remained stubbornly silent. Some theorized that the Anunnaki had departed long ago, leaving humanity to its own devices. Others speculated that they were still out there, observing from afar, their motives as inscrutable as the cosmos themselves. The truth, lost in the immensity of time and space, remained elusive. The search for extraterrestrial life, once relegated to the fringes of scientific inquiry, took on a new urgency. The discovery of the Anunnaki tomb had shattered the illusion of human uniqueness, forcing humanity to confront the possibility that they were not alone in the universe. And as the years passed, a new generation of scientists emerged, raised in the shadow of the Anunnaki revelation. They no longer sought to deny the existence of the extraterrestrial, but to understand it, to unravel the mysteries of the past and prepare for the challenges of the future. The echoes of the Anunnaki presence, once a source of fear, now fueled a burning desire to unlock the secrets of the universe. Decades after the discovery of the Anunnaki tomb, the world had changed. The initial panic had subsided, replaced by a kind of weary acceptance. The Anunnaki, once a source of terror, had become a fact of life, a whispered legend passed down through generations. But the fear remained, a corrosive undercurrent beneath the surface of society. It manifested in countless ways, in the ever-increasing surveillance, the militarization of borders, the suppression of dissent. The powers that be, scarred by the Anunnaki revelation, clung tightly to control, convinced that only through order could they protect humanity from the unknown. Yet even in the darkness, hope flickered. A new generation, raised on tales of the Anunnaki, refused to inherit the fear of their parents. They saw in the Anunnaki not monsters, but a reflection of humanity's own potential, for good or for evil. They understood that the true legacy of the Anunnaki was not one of fear, but of possibility. The possibility that humanity was not alone in the universe, that their destiny was not predetermined, that they had the power to shape their own future, free from the shadows of the past. The discovery of the last Anunnaki king's tomb had ripped a hole in the fabric of reality, exposing the threads of a truth far stranger than fiction. The world, forever changed, had peered into the abyss of its own origins, and the abyss had gazed back. The silence from the Iraqi desert, the unanswered questions, the lingering fear. They were a constant reminder of humanity's precarious place in the grand tapestry of existence. The comfortable narratives of the past had crumbled, replaced by a vast and unsettling universe of possibilities. The Anunnaki, whether gods, aliens, or something beyond human comprehension, had forced humanity to confront its own insignificance. The universe, it seemed, held no special regard for human ambition or human history. It simply was, a vast and indifferent stage upon which the drama of existence unfolded. Yet in that very realization, there was a strange and liberating beauty. Stripped of its illusions, humanity was free to forge its own destiny, to write its own story on the blank slate of the cosmos. The future, once tethered to the past, was now a boundless expanse of possibilities. The true legacy of the Anunnaki, then, was not one of fear or subjugation, but of choice. Faced with the immensity of the universe and the fragility of its own existence, humanity was given a unique opportunity. The opportunity to choose its own path, to define its own meaning in a universe devoid of inherent purpose. Would it cower in the shadows of the past, consumed by fear and suspicion? Or would it embrace the unknown, fueled by curiosity and a thirst for knowledge? Would it build walls of isolation or bridges of understanding? The answer, as always, lay in the hearts and minds of humankind. The Anunnaki, silent observers from the depths of time and space, offered no guidance. They had presented humanity with a mirror, reflecting its own potential for both greatness and destruction. The choice, the responsibility, rested solely on human shoulders, and so, as the stars wheeled overhead, indifferent to the hopes and fears of humankind, the question remained: what legacy would humanity choose to leave on the canvas of the cosmos? The answer, written in the actions of each passing generation, would determine the fate of a species poised between the abyss and the stars.